Well, howdy, loved ones. It's old Clawbah Eyes. So today's going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I do, believe it or not, have interest other than To Catch a Predator and Lorne. Don't worry, I'm going to get back to doing dumb Lorne videos and dumb To Catch a Predator videos soon. But today, I'm like a big horror movie junkie, and so is my guest. Today, I am joined by my friend Emily. Hey, Emily.
Hello.
Precious little princess. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do any Lorne shit.
Thank you.
I can't help it. So you're
a warm welcome.
I know, right? So you're a big horror movie fan too. Let's
Absolutely
kind of how we became friends, kind of, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
we started talking about horror movies, and we were both into Lorne. And, yeah, exactly. And so today we have the 100 greatest horror movies as voted on by Bloody Disgusting. You know that site, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I am familiar.
Of course.
I'm a member.
Are you really? Nice. So it's a pretty reliable source, I would say. If you're gonna get a horror movie,
credit,
yeah, shit. If you're gonna get a horror movie like list, I think Bloody Disgusting is probably the place to go.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you've seen the list, but what would you guess is the number one?
Well, okay. I have seen the list. I did not want to look at number one, though.
Okay.
You know,
if you were just to guess,
that's really tough. That's a tough one. What do you think number one is?
I already know what it is, but
you already know.
Yeah, I looked at it. I cheated.
Well, let me ask you this: is it a modern horror film or is it a classic?
I think it would be considered. It's considered a classic. It's a classic, yeah.
I don't know. We'll
yeah, I mean,
you
mean classic as in
later?
You mean like classic as in like the 50s, or classic as in like the 70s?
As in like anything not from the 90s or 2000s.
Okay, then it's a classic.
Okay. Ask me again later.
Okay. Well, you probably know what it is. But
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Yeah. Well, we can leave people in suspense.
Let's do it.
Yes. Let's leave. We got to leave the audience wanting more.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is your favorite horror movie then?
My favorite horror film, that is a really hard one. I go through phases.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm in a really big Hellraiser phase.
Nice. Pinhead, baby.
Love Hellraiser right now. So I would have to say the very first Hellraiser is my favorite film.
Hell yeah.
Like, it has the gore, it has the weird storyline, like everything you could ask for.
So are you more into like the really gory movies, or do you like the psychological ones?
Oh gosh, as I've gotten older, I've realized I can't handle as much gore.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what has happened to me. I could handle anything in the past, but now I cringe a little bit.
Well, now they've amped up the gore though. They've really I mean, you got movies like the Eli Roth movies and stuff.
Oh gosh, his stuff is hard to watch. Cabin Fever, I just can't sit through. It makes me itch.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And you actually told me about one of my favorite horror movies that I just saw, and I think it's probably one of my favorites. Hereditary. Yeah.
Yes. That was an awesome movie.
Hell yeah, it was one of the best. Yeah, one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Absolutely. Not your typical horror movie, but definitely pays homage to the classics.
Yeah, and not too much. There wasn't really that much gore in it. There was. I mean, there were. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I'm thinking. I forgot about the end there.
Moments.
Yeah. There. Okay.
One moment in particular.
You talk about the car in the car.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was. But
not
actually
something you see every day.
Yeah, they did cut back to it, and that was pretty fucking disgusting when they cut back to it. Like because they didn't really. I guess they kind of showed it, but they didn't really. They didn't really.
They implied it more than anything.
Yeah.
That it was.
I mean, you heard the. Yeah. I mean, without
the noise alone, I think.
Yeah. Without spoiling it.
Okay. that part aside, I would say there's not a lot of gore in it.
And the
You're
end,
right.
there's a good amount in the end too.
Oh, there is, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah, it gets pretty brutal at the end. But for the most
Okay.
part, it's like more of a psychological horror movie,
Yeah,
which I like.
absolutely. So,
All right, so today we're going to start from 100 and then we're going to do up to 90. So this will
okay.
be a series, hopefully, right?
Yeah,
Fuck
that would
yeah.
be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it'll be, let's see if my math is correct, 100. Let's see, it'll be we do 10 at a time. It'll be a 70-part series.
70 parts. Do you think you can deal with me for that long?
I think I can. I think I can.
Okay.
So
well, that sounds perfect.
number 100 is Phantasm.
Phantasm. Okay.
So
I
you've seen Phantasm, right?
have seen Phantasm. I was a child when I saw it, so
Me
it has
me
stuck
too.
with me.
It did stick with me too. And really, my only memory of Phantasm is like the mortician guy, the tall man, and
Yes.
the silver ball of doom.
Yes, absolutely. That the tall man, I think, was the scariest part of the movie. Just the way he looked, and he just loomed over everyone. It was terrifying.
Yeah, yeah, he was creepy, and plus, if he has that ball of doom, you can't run from a ball of doom
No, absolutely not.
with like screw like
With spikes and a screw.
yeah, it dug into your fucking skull.
Yeah, that's not something that I want to deal with
I don't
ever.
I don't exactly remember the plot of that movie. All I remember was like it's two kids are in like a cemetery, are they in a cemetery or
I
something
think they
like
were in
that?
a morgue or something.
Yeah, right. And then like for some reason this mortician just started chasing him around with a goddamn silver ball of doom.
Yeah, and it's like a weird 80s maze involved and
Yeah, which is weird because it was even it might have led to like how a lot of movies in the 80s were being made because this one was made in 1979.
okay, so this is like a precursor. Very nice.
Yeah, so this kind of started all that stuff.
Wow.
And it was directed by Don Coscarelli, who went on to make some pretty damn good movies.
What did he make?
Well, the one that springs to
Remind
mind,
me.
I mean, he's made like the Phantasm. Most of them are pretty low budget, but the one that springs to mind that I've seen is Bubba Hotep.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
That's a good one.
that's a great one with Bruce Campbell and Ossie Davis.
Who does not love Bruce Campbell?
Everyone loves Bruce Campbell, especially if you're going to be, into horror movies. You have to love Bruce Campbell.
You have to. He's the ultimate.
So you saw that one, right?
Yes.
Where he's where Bruce Campbell is basically playing Elvis in a retirement home.
Yeah.
And they get chased. They're like trying to kill. Is it zombies or vampires or some shit?
Something like that. It's been a very long time.
Oh right, yeah. For me too. But it was something to that effect.
I loved it though.
So, in your opinion, you think Phantasm too high, too low on this list?
Honestly, I'm surprised it's so low.
I am too. I thought it was pretty. When you have the silver ball of doom and the tall man,
something so memorable.
They're
expect it to be a little bit higher. Not necessarily top 10, but
no,
like top 50 at least.
right? Yeah, I would think because it's kind of iconic in like the horror movie genre
absolutely.
for people who love horror movies. I would think that Bloody Disgusting would have ranked it a lot higher, especially considering it's Bloody Disgusting.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to number 90. And number 99, I'm really surprised is so low. It's Suspiria.
Really?
Yes, Dario Argento's Suspiria.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what's number one if they're rating these so low.
I know, right? Suspiria
Wow.
is basically a movie about a girl who goes away to I think it's like a ballet camp or something.
It's a ballet school.
A ballet school. And it's basically run by a coven of witches.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that movie was it's really like, you talk about a movie that like set like trends. You know, that was with the colors and the like.
Yes, it was so beautiful, and the blood was like a neon red. It wasn't like the realistic blood that you had before. It was just super vibrant.
Right. I mean, yeah, it was. It was definitely a whole new style of horror movies, and kind of led the way to a lot of these newer horror movies that are kind of, I guess the word for it would be, what's the word? Like a surreal horror movie, I guess.
Surreal, yeah, absolutely.
Again, it's been a long time since I've seen that one, but I remember when I was I was a little Clawbah, and I watched it. I was fucking freaked out watching that movie.
It's terrifying. It's, the deaths are so outrageous. The falling through the ceiling, the glass ceiling, and oh my goodness. And there's blood everywhere.
And again, it's kind of considered it's number 99, and I always thought it was considered more iconic than 99 on this list.
Absolutely. I would think like top 20 for this one.
Yeah. That's like when people
standards really high.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's ahead of this. But
and then it makes me wonder where Paranormal Activity is going to end up.
Oh, we might cover that. We might yell at each other about that one.
Number one.
Yeah, no, it's not. Spoiler alert! It's not number one.
Oh darn!
Yeah,
okay.
I know you want it to be number one.
I am an advocate.
Yes, and I am absolutely not. But we'll be covering that one because it's somehow above Suspiria on this list.
That is bizarre, but okay.
So, and then the other thing about that was like it had like a really great score and it was like really great cinematography, and it was just a really besides being like a pretty fucked up horror movie, it was really like a well-made horror movie. Which
it was beautiful and just about every aspect, the colors, the music, the camera shots, the whole thing was just so beautifully made.
Yeah, which you don't see too much anymore.
No, and they're remaking it. Can you believe it?
They are. Yes. I don't know.
Goodness.
Who do you know who's doing the remake? I don't think it's Argento.
It's probably, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't.
I have low expectations but high hopes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel when anytime I hear the movies being remade, especially like a classic,
Yeah.
I automatically think, well, you know what, this is probably gonna suck. And if they make it PG-13, it's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah, you may as well just not even see it.
Yeah, no point. All right, let's move along to number 98. Number 98, again, another one that I cannot believe it's so fucking low. It's Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th.
The original?
Yeah, the 1980 Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that had like the big jump scene at the end.
I know, and it started like a whole... would you say that the Friday the 13th kind of started the slasher genre, or was there a movie before that?
That's a good question. I can't remember if Halloween is before or after.
Halloween is before that. Halloween was in the 70s, so yeah, it is before that.
I think Halloween started it.
Yes, yeah, you're probably right.
Friday the 13th definitely picked it up and ran with it because...
Oh, did they ever?
Had everything from Jason in Space to Jason Goes to Hell.
I know, to the tune of what, like 13 movies or something like that?
Yes, you couldn't have enough of it.
Do you have a favorite Friday the 13th movie?
I don't know if this counts, but Freddy versus Jason.
That's what I was going to say too. I don't know if it counts either, but it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
That and Jason X, because Jason Takes Manhattan was pretty good too.
Uh-huh.
But just some of the most unthought of kills in those movies, how they kept that going, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, Jason X was the Jason in Space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised. A lot of people hate on that movie.
I know, but it's one of those that it's so bad that you just have to love it.
Yeah, and that's how Jason Takes Manhattan is too. I mean,
yeah.
I think when they made that movie, I think they knew they were making kind of a piece of shit. So they like some of the kills, like Jason like punched the guy's head off, and it went into like
Yeah.
a basket and shit.
They were having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? That's the thing is they knew they were making a stupid Friday the 13th movie.
yeah.
They weren't reinventing the wheel, you know.
No.
The problem with
They
a
made
lot
a
of these
classic
horror
all the
movies.
same.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, they just made a classic.
They did, man. They did. The problem with a lot of these horror movies is like lately with these horror movies is they think that they're making a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, they think that they're smarter somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. Like, they want to be very, very smart and heady with what they're doing, but it just kind of turns out like meh.
Yeah, or
like trying too hard.
Yeah, or it turns out like it's the same fucking thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday the 13th. I would have really and I'm sure you know this, but Friday the 13th, the one film that doesn't feature Jason Voorhees.
That's true.
There was no. Well, actually, I guess he at the end.
Well, he makes it.
Yeah, he makes a cameo at the very
appearance.
end.
Yes.
But I mean, it's not. There's no hockey mask. There's no.
No.
There's no Jason. I believe
There's
that
no-
like the killer had like a bag over his head in this one, like a burlap bag.
I'm pretty sure you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty surprising because I mean this is the movie that like launched a franchise. I mean, like I said, there were like 10 or 11 of these movies, at least 10, right?
At least, yeah.
And again, like when you think about like iconic movie killers, like Jason Voorhees has got to be right near the top, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, you put him up there with Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
It's like the Holy Trinity right there.
Right there it is. So it's at 98. That's so okay.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised too. I mean, you know, to be fair though, the first Friday the 13th, it's not a great movie.
Well, no, but
and it's not even my favorite of the
classic.
Friday the 13th, but I mean, it's the one that started all these Friday the 13th movies.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm surprised. I was very surprised to hear that too. And like one of the very first movies with Kevin Bacon. I think one of Kevin Bacon's very first
Kevin
movies.
Bacon. He's adorable.
He is. Until he, you know, I forgot how they kill him off, but I'm sure it was pretty gruesome.
I think it was the arrow through the neck.
Oh, right. Ooh, poor Kevin Bacon.
I know.
That's going to kill his dancing career.
I mean, I don't think anything could stop that.
You can't stop Kevin Bacon from dancing,
no,
baby.
he's unstoppable.
He is. So, 97 is the original, the Wes Craven version of The Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
So what that basically is about is there's a family coming home from or going on vacation or whatever, and they're through this like really shit part of town or a desert or whatever it was, and they get chased by a family of cannibals.
Mutant cannibals.
Cannibals. Yeah, I think there was some kind of like nuclear testing done in this little area, and now there's mutants everywhere.
Oh my lord! Yes.
Did you see the remake?
I did. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was one of the most brutal movies I've ever sat through.
Brutal in what way?
Oh gosh, just the rape scene was brutal.
Oh yeah.
Holding the gun up to the baby was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole thing turned my stomach. But not very many films do that anymore. So
yeah.
I mean, it got a visceral response.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's what they were trying to achieve with it.
Yeah. It bordered on too much,
Mm-hmm.
but does it make it bad if I say I don't feel like it crossed that line?
No, that doesn't make it bad at all. I'm with you. But the original, I mean, the original, I mean, I think where it's at on the list is probably, again, I would probably think that it would have been higher, but I can kind of see it where it is. I mean, this isn't Wes Craven's, you know,
Crown and Glory.
No, it was one of his first movies, if not his first.
Yeah.
No, Last House on the Left was his first movie.
This is a baby Craven, but it's still a good one.
Yeah, anything Wes Craven is going to be good.
It's a terrifying idea to be isolated like that and hunted.
Yes, especially
Oh,
like especially if you like ever taken drives in like the desert or like just like
yes.
in the middle of nowhere.
Somewhere isolated. I either think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Ugh.
or Hills Have Eyes.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Anytime I'm in one of those kind of areas, that's kind of the things that spring to mind. And I'll tell you one thing: I'm not going to be asking nobody at a gas station for help
No, hell no.
because they give you quite the opposite.
They do, and you don't pick up strangers on the road
Goddamn right. No, you do not.
either. Never.
And this is a Rob Zombie movie, but if you go into a gas station where there's a fucking clown, like a creepy
Yeah.
clown, you get the fuck out of that gas station
Right?
immediately.
I mean, who goes into that thinking this is a great place for me to stop? I'll be okay here.
Yeah, and not only stop, but let's fuck with the clown guy a little bit.
Yeah, let's see just how crazy we can get.
Yeah, exactly.
We already know he's batshit nuts, but let's see
Yeah,
if we can really mess with
that
him.
doesn't stop it. They're not gonna stop. What's he gonna do?
Right? What's the worst that could happen here?
But the original Hills Have Eyes was one of the like the like in its day is probably like one of the like gorier movies.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of it may have like started this whole like this whole like gore, like what do they call it? I forgot what the term is. The stuff that like Eli Roth does and
Mm-hmm.
things
Oh,
like,
I don't remember the phrase either.
it's like gore porn or some shit like that.
Yes, torture porn.
Torture
or
porn.
something.
That's it. So
That's just
yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough watch. Even the original, and the original isn't as like rough as the newer one, but like
Right.
the original is pretty. I mean, the original. This is 1977. This movie was made.
Yeah, and it's pretty brutal. It's not as brutal as the new one, like you said, but it still makes you uneasy during some parts.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, number 96 is a movie that I don't. That well, I guess it's a horror movie, but I think it's a piece of shit.
Uh-oh.
It's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
How can you hate on that? That is like such a fun movie.
I thought it was boring.
You thought it was boring.
I did think it was
well,
boring.
okay.
And
Okay.
Keanu Reeves was, I don't know what he was doing in this movie.
He was doing his best.
He tried. He tried. Oh my God.
He just
It's
is
Dracula.
the cutest thing. Exactly.
And I mean,
Whoa.
again, yeah. Whoa. Count Dracula.
He was so adorable though.
It was
And then you had what's her face doing her thing.
Winona Ryder.
Yes.
Yeah. Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman was actually the vampire in it, and Anthony Hopkins was Van Helsing.
Yes, he was.
And if I remember correct, yeah, it was directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
It was a pretty nice film. It was pretty high budget, great costumes, great actors, but I don't know that I would consider it a horror film.
Yeah, it was maybe that was my issue with it. It was more of a it
like a period piece.
Yeah,
almost.
it kind of
fantasy.
Right. I mean, I guess if you would, I don't know, would you consider like Interview with a Vampire a horror movie?
No.
Neither would I.
I wouldn't.
Neither would I. I kind of put this in the same kind of category as that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was boring, and
it's ranked higher than Suspiria
and Friday the 13th, and
yes.
yeah, it's unbelievable. This is number 96, and that came out in 1992. So yeah, I don't know. You know what that movie seemed like to me is like, you know what? I wanna win Academy Awards, so I'm gonna make this Dracula movie to win Academy Awards.
Yes, definitely. It does look like that. I'm going to spend all this money, get all of these super famous that at that time actors, and we're gonna get an. Did it win an Academy Award?
I don't,
I
not that I
wonder.
know of. I don't think so. I don't think so. It
Oh,
didn't win anything major. That's for sure.
that's too bad.
No, it's not. Okay, so the next one I didn't see. I don't know if you saw it. I don't think you saw it either. And it's called, oh God, should I even try to pronounce it?
Do it.
Kairo.
Kairo.
And it is directed by, oh fuck my life, Kayushi Kurosawa.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read what they say about it because you haven't seen
Yeah.
it, right?
I can't say I've seen that
Okay, so I'm just going to read what they say about it because I have no fucking idea what it is. His most chilling film has more on its mind than just a bunch of creepy ghosts. Not that it doesn't have a bunch of creepy... Oh, it has a bunch of creepy ghosts in it.
Okay.
These like Japanese movies, like these horror movies, are always really pretty good, though, man.
They are. They are always so just creepy feeling when you watch them.
It's just hard to find them a lot of times.
It is. It is. And then all the American remakes of them, and it's just not as creepy for some reason.
No, well, the most of the American remakes, they PG-13 them, and then they like just...
That's very true.
They sanitize the shit out of them. They just like take everything that was like good in these, and they just make it like mainstream.
Oh.
Because a movie like this, I wouldn't think would be appeal in its current like, state. I don't think it would appeal to like a mainstream audience. But it was remade, actually. It was remade and called Pulse by Wes Craven.
Okay, now that one I did see. I saw Pulse.
Do you remember it?
I do. It's a big stand up against electronics and how dependent we've come to be on them.
Ah, one of those.
That makes any sense?
No, it does.
Yes, I did see that. At the time, I think if I saw it now, it would be a little bit more. It was a PG-13 remake, of course.
Of course.
So I think if I saw it now, I would appreciate it more than when I did see it when I was like 13, 12.
You were watching this stuff when you were 13?
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So how young were you when you started watching like these weird ass horror movies?
I remember the first horror movie I ever saw was Leprechaun on network television.
Nice.
And I was probably about 6 years old. And I remember sitting on the couch with my mom and watching it with her.
Yeah.
But changing it if it got too scary, which it didn't. So.
Leprechaun didn't get too scary for 6-year-old Emily?
No, I was kind of intrigued with it. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a bad personality sign right there.
No. Not at all.
The horror section at the movie store fascinated me. All the scary covers. I loved scary stories. I've just been a spooky person since day one.
Do you like creepypastas and all that stuff too?
I do, but I'm very picky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's just so much. Them,
yeah. I don't know. It's just something I've been fascinated with for a long time.
And you go to like horror conventions and...
I do, yes.
I do too.
Okay.
I do.
As long as you go too.
Yeah, I do. They have one in Chicago called the Flashback Weekend where they have they usually have like it's a pretty big deal. They have like the cast of like they'd have the whole cast of like Fright Night and Halloween and shit like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they sell like memorabilia and they have guys, you can meet and greet with people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I go to one like that called Frightmare. And I'm totally stoked because this year's, or I guess next year's one of their big guests is Tim Curry.
Oh, awesome. Is it going to be like Pennywise? Are they going to be like doing It stuff or?
I think so. They haven't really released any other people who are going to be there, but Tim Curry was one of the first ones they announced. And I love Tim Curry.
Yeah, so I do too.
I'm super excited.
So like if you got like a Tim Curry, like if they had like a bunch of his like roles, like like say you were going to get an
Mhm.
autograph, and you got like there were a bunch of like pictures. Which one? What like role would you want him to autograph for you? Like,
Oh gosh. It would be a tie between Pennywise
yeah,
and Dr. Frankenfurter.
of course, the two iconic ones.
I know. I may have to get both.
Yeah, you might want to do you might want to do both just in case. For
Yeah.
me,
Which one
it'd
would
be
you get?
Pennywise for sure.
Yeah.
I was kind of creeped out by fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why that movie
Oh,
creeped me out.
I remember when I saw it when I was in high school, and I showed it to my boyfriend at the time, who was also in high school, and he was just so weirded out by
Yeah,
it.
I was too.
He was like, "Why are you showing me
Yeah,
this?"
I had the same reaction, and in fact, almost the exact same situation happened to me. There was a girl that I was dating in high school was like, "Come, oh, you got to come over. We got to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show." I'm like, "What the fuck is Rocky Horror Picture Show?" And then
Well,
I watched it, and I'm like, "This is fucking weird. Why are we watching this?"
yeah, that was his response. He was like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it now for
Yeah,
like being like a kind of a landmark, and it's still running at like midnight at some theaters.
it is. It is. None near me, unfortunately.
I think they have one in Chicago that still does it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And people throw rice and shit at the screen, and
Of course.
you got the whole experience.
You need to have the whole experience.
Damn
If you
right.
haven't had it, you need to go have it.
You know what? I don't think I need to have it. No, I don't need the Rocky
You're
Horror
just gonna
Picture.
be sitting there like, this is so fucking weird. When is it over?
Yeah, that's basically what I would be doing. And I've seen weird. You know what's? I've seen some weird ass shit too. I've seen some weird fucking movies.
And that just was like, that was too much for you.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know. I mean, maybe if I saw it again, I wouldn't have the same reaction. I was in high school, so yeah.
You may need to have a reaction video to watching it.
To watching Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
I would be the most boring reaction video ever, though.
No.
Because it'd be just me,
fun.
like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
It'd be kind of like watching To Catch a Predator thing.
Exactly. It's just what the fuck.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna. Well, so okay. Anyway, and it actually in this article they actually did bring up what you just said, that it's commentary. It's a commentary on technology and more specifically the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made in 2001, so it's pretty ahead of the curve as far as like commentaries on like the internet.
If only Lorne had seen it.
I know. He
This could have been a life changer.
yeah, he would have never went on Yahoo Chat.
He never would have. He would have thought ghosts were gonna get him.
Yeah, well, maybe the next catfish can convince him that like they're a ghost.
There are ghosts on the internet, and they will haunt you and take your soul.
That's right. I've seen it. So
Oh
the
my
next one is
goodness.
Wolf Creek. Why is this number 94? Like, why is this ahead of those other movies?
I don't know. That's pretty high up.
Yeah,
but
it's very high up, and like for a movie that wasn't like, I don't remember that being considered like even a good horror movie at the time.
I don't even remember it playing like anywhere when it came out. I remember seeing it on television on like Stars or something, or Sundance. Not
Well, the thing about Wolf Creek is, it starts out like just it's basically what is it? It's basically kind of the same principle as like Hills Have Eyes, where it's like these kids are just like out on a like desolate road, and all of a sudden they get like accosted by like some serial killer or something like that.
I think it's based on a true story.
It is, yeah, it is based on a true story. And it's an unsolved mystery, and I believe it's Australia.
I think so.
And they still never caught the it's one of like Australia's like unsolved like main unsolved mysteries.
And that is terrifying.
Yeah, it really is.
That is terrifying. The one thing about that movie I remember is he is, oh, he's got his knife in this girl's spine and he's like sliding it up and telling her how she's gonna be paralyzed but
Yeah.
she'll still be able to feel this. And I just remember, ugh,
That's
my
like, you want to talk about
skin
an evil
crawling.
motherfucker, man. That's like,
Yeah,
that's evil shit, man.
that's, oh,
Yeah, that's terrifying that there are actually people out there who, because like you said, it's based on a true story. Now, whether that part was sensationalized for the movie, or
mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you would never know if it was like, if that's what I mean, maybe a coroner's report would, but you wouldn't know if he actually said those things. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But just the fact that like they put that in there is like, holy fuck, man. That it's sad
That
that
was
they're,
pretty brutal.
yeah, that's really brutal. And that was the thing about Wolf Creek is like, it starts out really, 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 really slow.
Okay, so it's like you get to know the characters and you find one that you like, kind of thing. And
Well, you don't even, well, no, I mean, you don't even really, I guess you kind of get to know them,
kind
but
of like The Descent, where it's a
yeah, but the
slow
Descent,
start.
you get to, you do get to know them more. These are just
Yeah.
like random. I mean, they're a lot more random. They don't really like get into their characters or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
nothing real. It's just nothing happens in the first like half of the movie. And you're
Oh,
talking about,
well,
this is like a 90-minute movie too.
I can't believe it's that high up, but okay.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and especially considering like the reactions it got from people.
Mm-hmm.
It got an F on Cinema Score, which is basically,
Really?
yeah, which is basically the service that polls people after they get out of the show what they thought of it.
An F,
Yes,
not even a C.
not even a D minus. It got a fucking F,
Wow.
which is pretty rare for Cinema Score, because usually like everything kind of is like, it was all right, or
Yeah, this is straight up. This is bad.
yeah, yeah. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's one of the more poorly reviewed films in Rotten Tomatoes history.
Wow.
I remember like the critics in Chicago at the time, like they all badmouthed the shit out of it.
Do you remember why at all? Was it because it was so brutal, or
That, yeah, and they just basically said it was
they
just an
just?
ugly, ugly movie, which I guess is kind of the point of it. But
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't see it being like mainstream popular at all.
no, no, and the problem is they did release it. They released it wide on Christmas Day.
Oh,
So people came from Christmas dinner to go see. You know what? Let's go see the old Wolf Creek.
yeah. What's that Wolf Creek about?
Oh, can you imagine like that? People think like having no idea what that was, and just thinking, well,
Oh,
who knows? Maybe it's maybe it's a like a Meryl Streep movie,
exactly.
and all of a sudden somebody's getting their spine
Their
sliced.
spine severed. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
poor some
Poor
old. Yeah,
grandmas.
exactly.
I
That's
just
gonna
see
kill
little
some
old
old lady.
people in there.
There probably was. There probably were a lot of like walkouts and like refunds issued for that movie.
Oh yes.
So now the next one is actually a movie I love. I don't know if I would. Well, I guess I'd put it on the list. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it ahead of like. Again, I just can't get over Suspiria being so low.
I know.
But Slither is next,
Oh, but that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
and that's kind of like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got this like alien invasion, body snatcher type of
Yes, very, very body horror heavy,
yeah,
which gives me the jeebies.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's there's a lot of movies like that, but the thing about Slither though was it was like it had like a lot of elements of comedy to it, so
hmm
I don't think it like. It was like comedy, and like there was a lot of gore in it, and it
It
was
was more gross out
yeah.
stuff rather than like I'm severing your spine kind of
Right, right,
thing.
yeah, exactly, and like silly, gross out stuff,
Yeah.
not like you know, intense, like
Yeah.
hostile, like type stuff. Like
Exactly.
it was
It
just
was
like
more like fun, like gross,
yeah,
like little brother stuff.
yeah, exactly. You know who directed Slither?
Was it James Gunn?
It sure was James Gunn,
Ah, yay.
director of Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yes, he is fantastic. I wish I could find more of his older movies
Yeah, it's
that he did with was it Lloyd Kaufman?
I think so. Yeah,
The
yeah. The
trauma
oh, he
films.
did he did trauma movies.
Yeah.
Trauma.
And one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Lloyd Kaufman's actually one of the prisoners, and that's who was I think he was like the head of trauma.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. I knew he was the
Yeah.
head of trauma, but or trauma. Is it It's trauma, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels weird when I'm saying it as trauma.
I think it is. I think it is trauma. I haven't seen a whole lot of trauma movies though, to be honest. Toxic Avenger, I've seen, of course.
Toxic Avenger, yeah. That's the gross out gore is very trauma of him.
Yeah,
Goes back to his roots, which I love.
right. And this wasn't a trauma. I think this was released by a major studio. So
Yeah, this was a big movie.
and I think who's in it? Like, I think Nathan Fillion was probably in it because he's in all of his movies.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Banks, I think, was in it.
Yes.
So
And then I can't think of the main guy's name, but he's in a lot of the movies too.
yeah, yeah. I can't think of it either. But yeah, a little surprised that it's. I mean, I guess 93. I could see that. I guess I'm not that surprised. I'm more surprised that it's ahead of like. I just can't get over Suspiria being so low.
I can't get over Suspiria either. Okay.
I mean, I guess this is just like their opinion. So I mean, everybody. If I got another list from another site, I'm sure I'd have a whole different order. But
Yeah, and there could be things on there that we hadn't even thought of before. So I'm excited to see what more the list brings.
all right, well, let me tell you what's next.
All right.
Jacob's Ladder is number 92, starring Tim
Okay.
Robbins. Do you remember that one?
I do. I'm surprised it's so low. It's a very psychological movie.
Yeah.
Very messes with your mind.
It
But
really does.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's
surprised.
great. It's great. It's a great movie. Where he basically plays like a Vietnam vet who is having flashbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just going through like this really weird world, like, and you don't know quite what's going on.
Exactly. You don't know what's his reality and what he's imagining.
It's been a
pretty
long time since I
wild.
saw that, but like the one thing I always remember, like it might have been one of the first movies that like had like that twist ending that like really like where I was like, what the fuck happened?
What the fuck? Yeah, what did I just watch?
Yeah. Before
Yes.
M Night Shyamalan, before he
Shyamalan.
before he started doing this stuff, there was
Mhm.
there was this.
Yeah, this was definitely a great twist ending. Well, I think you definitely don't see it coming.
No, you really don't, and we're not gonna spoil it. You
No,
gotta watch it for
won't
yourself.
ruin it.
I've been
There's too
looking
many
for this.
great parts of that movie to ruin it.
Yeah, and it's really the way it's filmed is really cool too. It's because it's filmed like a flashback. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really like dark and like there's like then there's these weird blues and stuff. So like
It's very dreamlike.
yeah, it really is. It did add to like the psychological like terror of the movie. Would you consider it a horror movie though?
I would consider it a horror movie.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe.
And
Well, what would you consider it?
yeah, I mean, I would say psychological thriller, but
Okay.
I can go with horror. I can go with horror. It won't take much to convince me of it, as a horror movie.
Uh, well, the more I think about it, psychological thriller definitely makes more sense. But I'll go with horror. I'll
They're
go with
they're
horror too.
they're pretty much related though. I mean, a lot of like
Yeah, they're
psychological thrillers,
cousins.
you can consider them in both genres, really. I think.
Yeah.
And that was actually directed by, or no, yeah, it was directed by the person who wrote Ghost.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote Ghost, and he directed, of course, Fatal Attraction.
Wow.
Adrian Lyne, or is it Lynn or Line? I think it's Adrian Lyne is his name.
He wrote Ghost.
Yeah, he wrote Ghost and
Okay. I would consider that a horror movie.
Ghost.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
kidding.
terrifying. You in danger, girl.
I know.
So 91, I haven't seen. I haven't seen this version of it. I saw the original. I mean the remake, and even the remake I don't even really remember. But
Okay.
House on Haunted Hill is number 91.
Okay. So I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It has Vincent Price in it.
Yep.
And it's, I don't want to trash it because it's definitely one of the classics, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch if you're into the genre.
Well, I've seen I saw the remake, which I think was called, was it The Haunting or maybe it was called House on Haunted Hill.
I think it was House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, I think you're right. And basically, what it's about is, a millionaire has this thing where he invites like 5 people to stay in. If they can stay in this house overnight, they get $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then weird shit happens.
Exactly.
Like ghosts and
people turning against each other and
mm-hmm.
guns are involved.
Yeah. Well, aren't they always?
Yeah.
They always should be.
I mean, if you're gonna stay in a haunted house,
I'd have my gun if I had a gun. I don't have a gun, so.
I don't have a gun either.
Just because I'm from Chicago doesn't mean I have a gun.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm from Dallas, so
All right.
it
All
makes
right.
sense that we both have guns.
Yeah, I think.
But we don't.
Yes. No. Neither one of us is armed. But you know what? Maybe I'll have to see the original again though. Like some of these movies, like it's just like hard to find.
Yeah.
Because they're not on
That
Netflix. They're not on Hulu.
Unless it's on Turner Classic Movies one day, I don't know that it's ever going to be on.
Yeah, I guess you would have to and if they're gonna play it on Turner Classic Movies, it would have to be. They'd probably play it around Halloween.
Yeah.
So, finally, like our last movie of this episode is a movie that one of us really likes and one of us really fucking hates.
Oh no.
I wonder I wonder which one I am. And it's Paranormal Activity.
Okay, so it's pretty low on the list. So, okay.
It shouldn't even be on the list. Fuck that movie.
Why do you hate it? Okay, why do you hate it so much?
Because nothing happens in the entire movie.
That is not true. It's little things.
It's little things like a light turning on and off.
Yes.
Come on.
It's spooky.
It's not spooky.
It is spooky.
Doors. Now, I will say that the ending was very good, but it took it took 85 minutes for anything to happen in that movie.
It was a slow burn with a very small climax, I guess.
Yes, that's saying it mildly. And I think part of my problem with the movie is like when it came out or when it was coming out, they were making such a big deal out of this movie. Like,
oh, absolutely.
This is the scariest fucking movie that you will ever see in your entire life. And they had they had scenes from people inside the theaters freaking out and stuff.
Yes, they did. And they had a huge hype around it. And I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I'm a huge fan of the demon possession horror genre. And I thought it was the little details that made it scary versus like anything big happening.
Okay, but like nothing happened. Like, okay, I could see your point. Like, I like that kind of stuff too, like the possession stuff, and I find
Hmm.
that very interesting. But fucking do something with it. They didn't do anything with it the entire movie until like the last 30 seconds. A light turning in and on and off, like a chandelier being all like creepy. That was it. And again, I probably had high hopes for it because I think I saw it before it was like in wide release. But God, I thought it was a piece of shit. And it was a small budget movie, and it was like playing the festivals and stuff. And I guess that's where it built all the all of its traction. But I don't know, man. I thought it was a piece of shit. It came out in 2007, and again, I remember seeing it like really early on, like before before it went like in wide release. And I just, again, I was probably, it's probably, it may be just me. It may just be me. Um, so yeah, that's number 90 through 100. And again, uh, I do apologize if I know that people don't want to hear this kind of stuff from me. Um, and I'll get back. I'll get back to doing Lorne stuff. If there's any videos that you guys want me to do, or if you want to join me for a live stream or a video or whatever, just let me know. And see if I can get Emily back here. Cool, precious princess. Um. Yeah. Okay. So I will talk to all of you guys soon. Emily, it was awesome of you to join me. Think I might have lost you at the end, but we're gonna do this again like really soon. So if you guys liked it, let me know, and we'll have another part coming up soon. Um, Again, it's like you know what? It's just something I'm interested in. I don't expect anybody else to be interested in, and I know that like it's not really what I do, but and I'll get back to doing what I do. It's just a little thing I wanted to do. Uh, so Emily, it was awesome talking to you. Uh, Hopefully, I'll get you back. Try to do the long wrap up, but I think she's gone. Oh, well, we got through. At least we got through 100 through 90. All right. I will talk to all of you later. Bye, my precious princess.